Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, the question is, what is a power cut? What's a power cut? Well, that's when your electricity goes off suddenly. Now, a power cut is only about electricity. Okay, even though it has the word power, it's only about electricity. So we never say, oh, I had a gas cut, I had a water cut. If these things stop working, a power cut is only electricity. Why we don't say electricity cuts, I don't know. The word cut in English is generally used to refer to a price cut. Oh, there's been a price cut in tomatoes. Oh, there's been a price cut in gas. So if you hear someone saying, oh, there's been a price cut on electricity, it has a very different meaning. Also, if you hear people using the passive voice, my electricity's been cut, it means that they haven't paid their bill or something's happened and they've lost access to the electricity network. But a power cut is usually caused because of a lack of energy in the area, a fault, or a war, or some kind of an action, okay, that maybe has been taken. Now, we don't get these very often now, power cuts. We did have a lot of power cuts in the 1970s. You know, you could be sitting watching TV and suddenly the lights flicker. A few minutes later, you're sitting in darkness and you go to the window and you see that the whole street is in darkness. So you know that it's not just you. These days, it's really unlikely that you would find a power cut anywhere, but it does still happen. It could be a problem in your fuse box, that's a little box of electricity that you have at home. Could be a weather-related issue, natural disaster, an overload, or even a planned outage of electricity. It could be anything, okay? And I'm sure you've all experienced that. Today, I had a leaflet come through my door into my mailbox behind the door. You know, we have our letter boxes on our apartment doors on the inside. So every apartment has a letterbox. So it's not like you have a mailbox with a key and you have to go and check it daily. The postman's able to push things through into your apartment and the little box catches the things to stop my cat getting to them. Anyway, my cat's got to this leaflet. He's eaten half of it because I left it on the table. But it's called Preparing for a Power Cut. And it's headed, now that you're diabetic, you can join our priority services register. And then it tells me why I should. It says, being on our register won't necessarily mean we will restore your power more quickly, but it does mean that we will try to proactively contact you if we know of a problem in your area. Yeah, I don't know how they actually knew that I was diabetic, and I'm not sure whether I should be offended over this. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that I'm high risk in a power cut just because I can't eat sugary things. I don't know. But anyway, it says there's many reasons why you should join our priority services register. Power cuts are rare, but we know some customers may find them more challenging than others. That's why we offer extra help and support to customers who feel they need it. And it has a picture of a disabled kid on here with his parents. The mother looks like she is staring into the camera with a fake smile, with a lot of teeth. The man has a beard, looking very suspiciously happy, holding up a mobile phone, and they're with their neighbors, a black man, his white wife, and a mixed race child. And there's another picture here of a gay couple and a woman in a wheelchair with no legs. Gee, it's obviously trying to be politically correct by reflecting every type of family it can think of. And then it says, it is vital to make sure we have your correct contact details. If we have these, we can provide the best possible service in a power cut. It's also possible and important that we have these so we can compensate you automatically under our guaranteed standards of service if you're due compensation. Okay, they got my attention with that. And now it has a picture here, another picture of another white child with a Asian mother, and the child's wearing a oxygen mask. Jeez. Yeah, and then it's telling me all this stuff about how they have a right to share information if I give them my contact details and everything else. Yeah, it's a little bit strange, I have to say. A little bit odd, but probably very useful. Anyway, let's get back to power cuts. So, equipment failure, weather-related issues, natural disasters, human error or malicious actions, and overload of the power grid. That's how we refer to electricity generally. The power grid is the way it's applied to us. Planned outages is another reason. And of course, another reason why your electricity might go off is if you don't pay it. Now, let me just tell you something which you probably don't know. You know, your mobile phone, you can have a contract mobile phone, or you can have pay as you go, where you buy a little card to top it up, yeah, every week or every month if you don't use it very much. We have the very same system with electricity. We go to the supermarket, we put money on the cards, we take the card back to the meter in our house, and we insert it. It's not actually a card, it's like a little plug. And you put it in, you top it up in the supermarket, you put it in, and then you have electricity until it runs out. So, of course, if you don't top that thing up, you don't get power. And that's it. And I think it keeps £5 spare in there. So if you run out of electricity, it will always have £5 spare, which will last you another few hours, and you can get to the supermarket before it goes off. You know, when I moved into this apartment, that was the system, and I thought, oh no, I want a contract. I want a real meter, so I don't have to do this, so I can pay in, you know, with the bill being sent to me, and then I can pay it because I don't trust them with my bank details. And I had quite an argument to get them to put in a contract meter. They really didn't want to do it because a lot of electricity companies, even though they provide your electricity, they're not responsible for the meter. That's looked after by the people who provide the electricity to the electricity company, if you know what I mean. That's a separate thing because all of our electricity is privatized now, so it's very complicated. Anyway, I got my smart meter in the end, and then of course it didn't work. But at least I was able to just pay for bills when they came in without having to go to the supermarket. Yeah, so we still have that system here. A lot of people prefer it, even though it's more expensive, because it means they don't have steep bills coming in. Let's describe power cuts. Well, they can be brief or momentary. Yeah, that means only lasting a short period of time. They can be prolonged or extended for outages that last for several hours or even days. They can be widespread or extensive when a large area or many customers are affected. They can be unexpected or sudden. They can be scheduled or planned. I think that one's quite clear. Scheduled or planned, announced in advance. Intermittent, on and off, or sporadic. Severe or major, in which case you could be left without electricity for a few hours or a few days. Disruptive, causing interruptions in normal activities or services. Frequent or recurrent, happening often, possibly indicating an underlying problem with the power infrastructure. I'm not sure whether I should be offended by this leaflet now that we know that you're diabetic. Yeah, but how do they know that I'm diabetic, and why do they think that I need to be on their priority services register? I mean, I suppose it's nice of them, but when I see the pictures, the kid in the oxygen mask, the child with cerebral palsy, a woman with one leg, and another woman who's standing outside a shop, suspiciously staring into the distance with a perm hairstyle. I don't really know if I fit into any of these categories. And then it's got a picture of a man climbing an electricity pylon. That's those large metal structures. Looking, I don't know how to describe this picture. It's one of these pictures which is evoking a sense of hyper-masculinity or hypersexuality, because he looks like a young, strong man with a beard, with a helmet and sunglasses, happily strapped to a chimney. Wait a minute. Oh, there's two. Yeah, he's strapped to a chimney, and the other one is on the top of a electricity pylon, flexing his muscles. And this guy has all of his tools, and he's wearing very large boots. Jeez. Right. Yeah, so I don't really know if I fit into any of these categories, really. And now it's saying in the back here, preparing for your extreme events. Whatever that means. And it says, let's see, if you need this leaflet in Braille, if you're blind, please call this number. If you want to hear an audio version of this leaflet, please call this number. If you need to hear this leaflet from an interpreter in a different language, please note we only have 100 languages available. Please call this number. Yeah, well, it's very useful, I suppose, for somebody. Please note, if an employee comes to your home, you should speak to the caller through the door. Do not open until you're assured by seeing one of our ID cards that we really are genuine. Okay, If you think it's a fraud, please call this number immediately and record the caller's name before calling us. If possible, use a security system on your door. If in doubt, don't open it. If you want extra security, we will agree a password with you. What? These people don't even provide my electricity. This leaflet is from the people who provide my provider with electricity, because it's all privatized. So this is from the power grid owner, Scottish Power. My provider is EDF. Yeah, so a bit strange. Anyway, I hope that gives you some insights into... Oh, that's a nice phone that kid with the oxygen mask is holding. I think that's one of the new iPhones, isn't it? Oh, yeah, and Yeah, there's a cake in that shop window with that woman with a perm. Oh, delicious. She's standing outside of a bakery. Anyway, that's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.